But this is a little bit different to anything that we've ever done.
Really?
So this is actually from a coach.
A coach? I'm excited. I haven't heard this.
Yeah. So we've done a lot of questions about kind of like friendships, relationships, school identity. So we've never had one from a coach.
Okay.
I feel like you're going to be really good at this.
I would love to be a coach. Like I can't, the main reason why I can't wait to have kids, and I can wait to have kids, but when I do have kids, I'm excited to be the best dad coach you've ever seen.
Oh, I feel like you would have had some special coaches in your time.
I've had some unbelievable coaches.
All right, should we get into it?
Yeah, let's go.
Hey, Rog and Star, big fan of the show. And definitely would consider myself a footy nuffy. Same.
That makes 3 of us.
I need some advice on how I can surprise one of my former players that I used to coach. Any help would be greatly appreciated.
Well, I always loved when I was a player when the coach would surprise us with something other than a training session.
Ooh.
Like you would think you're going to rock up to training and like the footies aren't out on the ground and you're like, what's happening here? And the coach would go, come inside to the club rooms and we'd have like a little movie night, like a little chemistry night.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, I think building team chemistry is really important off the field as well. So if you're a coach and you want to surprise one of your players or all of the players, do something a bit left field, get them off the training track. Yeah. I reckon this would be your domain. What's something a little bit left field that isn't kicking the footy around that'd be a good way to bring the team together or maybe get a player up and about?
I don't know. I feel like you've got to think outside, not just the footy field. Where would you not expect to see this person? So maybe doing like a team bonding activity, like the zoo, or maybe like, I don't know, at the podcast studio.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like, just surprising someone in the studio.
Oh, Morgan! You are kidding.
Hello. How you going?
This is fantastic for you, mate. This is... Oh, mate.
Come and have a seat.
This is... I had no idea where this was all going.
I was so nervous doing that. I was like trying to look at the producer to be like, is now the time? Is now the time?
Oh, Borgie. So Borg is probably my longest coach, and we had a really good relationship, didn't we, Borgie?
Yes, we still do. I'd like to think we still do.
Yeah, absolutely. And this was the first year that I'm not actually playing at the footy club. How are you going without me in the side? Are you holding up pretty well?
Yeah, well, we finished our home and away season on the weekend, so we finished third on ladder. So we go into finals coming this coming Saturday. So safe to say we're going okay.
Yeah, sensational.
It's not the same without you, but
Well, it's such a special relationship between the player and the coach because, this show, The Site's all about local community footy. And there's so much that you learn from a coach, and it's more than just on field. It's more than just learning where to kick the ball, learning where to run. There's a personal relationship that's built that teaches you how to be a better man as well. And I feel like that was your greatest strength as a coach,
Thank you.
Borgie.
Thank you.
The messages you gave, you always taught people how to bring the best out of themselves. It's something that all the players are very grateful for. So thank you for that. And
appreciate it. Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining us on the flight.
Were you surprised?
I am absolutely shocked. I really can't believe it. And the way we were going through the second, I'm wondering where this is going. I'm so stoked to have you on here, Borgie.
My heart rate was really high. Now, Coach, we've been talking about finals a lot on this episode and what to do kind of when the footy season is over, when the grand finals wrapped up.
Yep.
How do you kind of fill that void in your life when something you love so much has kind of come to a pause?
After such a long season, it's sort of like a bit refreshing to have some time off.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't take long because we usually don't start pre-season till November. So it's really not a big gap in between, but just enjoying the time off. Still trying to catch up with some boys. Like we've caught up for coffees and that sort of stuff afterwards. So, as kind of said, I'd like to think that we build a relationship other than just play a coach. It becomes a friendship and it becomes just another connection, I suppose. So,
Love that. Yeah. And did Rog ever do anything that got him like a couple of laps around the field?
No, he was the ultimate trainer.
That's the only reason I got a game start.
Someone asked me to explain to describe how he plays, and I think it's like Lionel Richie but in a James Manson mould.
I do not know what that means.
Well, if you look up James Manson, he was an ex-Collingwood player who had a very awkward kicking style.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm going with it. And the Lionel Richie reference in terms of to the
mustache.
Okay.
But he was always the first on the track. He trained like he played with a lot of effort,
Love that.
So yeah,
it's what we love about community footy, and it's something that we've pumped up a bit, is that you don't have to be the best player. I never was, as you know too well, Borgie, but it's about what you can do outside of the track, getting the players up and about, being the one that sparks people up in the change rooms, and that can have, you know, maybe not just as much impact as the stars that get 40 disposals and 10 clearances on game day, but it can have a pretty significant impact.
Yeah, correct.
I want to talk about that energy in the change room as well, because I've been at like footy games before, and then you walk past the change room and it's just like roaring sound coming from there. What are like 3 words that come to mind when you describe the energy that's in that room after you've just had a massive win?
It's hard to describe really, because there's a whole range of emotions. Like, it's excitement, it's relief, especially if it's a big game. And we had a really big game last year, which unfortunately I think you missed out on.
No, I was there. So I got dropped for the first final.
No. Talk about the Eltham game.
Oh, the Eltham game. Oh, yeah, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, so I think you missed that one. So if I can just go back a little bit, Connor, actually, we played a side that hadn't lost a game in about 2.5 years.
Wow.
And the first time we played, we were really short on numbers and injuries. And Connor was actually, he's probably first and only time in senior footy that he was actually captain of the side.
Yeah.
Ooh, look out.
So it all started, it was all good. You know, he's, I told him, I think it was the morning of.
Yeah, it was.
The morning of, I told you you're going to be the captain, and he was all up and about and I'll get the boys going. And anyway, he got us going because we ended up getting beat by about 150 points. And it's not his fault. It was just, we were just decimated with injuries. And as I said, it's a side that hadn't lost a game in 2.5 years.
They were unstoppable, Eltham. It really was a mental battle to think of how you could possibly beat this team.
Yeah, and we lost a few injuries early, which didn't help. But I think just the way he led, even though, and it goes to show that the character of the group that we've got, that as far as down as what we were personnel-wise, they had a crack and they dicked. And I think, you know, kind of led from the front, mate, because he wears his heart on his sleeves and gives you everything he's got. And I'm not saying that, but that's all sincerity. So.
No, he's a good egg, a good soft-boiled
egg. But then the
egg.
next time we played Eltham, I was doing the timekeeping. I didn't play that week. And we came out and we did the fairy tale. We beat them with half a side in.
Correct.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah, so we ended up beating the first side to beat them in 3 or 3 years. So in games like that, it's excitement, it's a bit of disbelief, it's euphoria, I suppose, for a better word, if you beat a really good side. But I think it's just, I think the environment in the group, whether we beat a really good side or we beat a weaker side, I think it stays the same. Yeah. Would you agree? It's just it's the closeness of the group and the club itself. So I think it's just everyone got each other's back, and so.
And coach, do you give a good pep talk?
I'd like to think I give every pep talk a good pep talk.
Boy, you gave...
That's not me to explain on, to elaborate on. So.
Boy, you gave a ripper pep talk. He was one of the best in the business. So, mate, thank you so much for coming on and surprising us, Boy. That shocked me like you wouldn't believe. But what a full circle moment. It's been great to have you on the side.
I'm glad it had the desired effect, mate. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I can't wait to see the slow-mo of your face. But I'm like, maybe surprise you in a podcast. You're like, what? We got you.